right. On Friday at Bellator 289, our next guest is going to be fighting Raufeon Stots in the main event for another place in the finals of the Bantamweight Grand Prix, as well as the interim Bantamweight title. It's my friend and yours. It's Danny Sabatello. Hi, Danny.
A gangster.
How we doing, boys?
We're doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. You know, we're about 20 hours away from weigh-ins. That's what my mindset is right now on the weigh-ins. Then obviously after you refuel, rehydrate, my mindset's just going to be straight to Stots and beating the shit out of them.
Dude,
How much weight do you cut on fight week?
I do things a little bit different. I don't really have a target weight. I kind of go based on feel. You know, if I'm feeling like shit, then I drink and I eat a little more no matter what. I'd kind of just listen to my body and I gauge it from there. So if I feel good, then just run with it. I actually like to not check my weight too much, as little as possible, because I think you're just going to get very nervous if you just keep checking. You're going to be worried about it. Listen, the bottom line is I started wrestling when I was 4 years old. I've been making weight since I was fucking 5 years old. The weight will never be an issue. I'll always make weight. So why am I going to worry about it all the time? No, fuck that. Try not to weigh yourself. It's going to be good. And then just zero in on it the last 5 days.
You know, it's rainy and shitty here in Connecticut today, but you're dressed like a Florida timeshare billboard right now. I mean, this is fantastic. I love this.
I brought my tan with me. You know, I'm from South Florida now. It was 80 degrees and sunny when I left for here. Right now it's obviously rainy, but I was able to get a good sick tan for this fight.
Now, you're a Chicago guy by birth, but a Florida man by choice, it seems.
Yep, 100%. You know, I'll never forget my Chicago roots. I love going back there. That's where my friends and family and everybody that I fuck with is there. I obviously try to go there as much as possible because I love the people there. I also love Chicago. You know, the food is second to none. But yeah, for about 4 or 5 years now, I've been in South Florida at Fort Lauderdale, training at the best team in the world, an American top team.
Big DeSantis guy, you know?
Who isn't these days? I got to ask you, though, about the pizza. Chicago pizza is kind of, it's...
Listen, I'm telling
you.
you.
You're in Connecticut. I don't know if you noticed. Connecticut, this is true. I'm not doing a bit.
New Haven.
Yeah, there's some legit pizza around these parts.
Yeah, it's cute. That's cute pizza. Listen, Chicago pizza is the best pizza there is. And you don't have to be a deep dish lover. If you are a deep dish lover, Lou Malnati's best deep dish fucking ever. But if you're not, we also have really good thin crust. There's a place called Vito and Nick's in the South Side. Next time you're there, I recommend you go there. It's very good. Chicago not only has good deep dish, but great thin crust too. You know, don't think that you have to always do deep dish when you're in Chicago. If it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. You're probably a pussy too, because come on, how the fuck do you not love deep dish? It's the best. But then go try Vito and Nick's.
Wow, this is great already.
You're a pussy, BC.
I'm just enjoying this. Deep dish is like a drunk chick with a loaded diaper. Like it's too much for me, you know?
Yeah, no, I know. I get it. You know, it's very different. I don't know if you would even call it pizza. You just kind of would call it heaven because it's so good. But yeah, if it's not a cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea.
This fight is huge, and it's one step closer to $1 million and the title and everything. It's a big fight, but it's been sold by you and Raufeon Stots being entertaining as shit, being at odds. That part of the tour has seemed to veer off, and now you're going your separate ways heading into the fight. Was that your decision to just say, all right, enough of this bullshit. I got to worry about beating you now?
Yep, 100% my call. You know, when we were doing these interviews towards the later end of this fight stuff, I was saying I want to stop with Raufeon because, number one, I'm making his fucking career. A lot of people are saying that Raufeon Stots came out of nowhere. He did not come out of nowhere. He's 34 years old. He's been in this game forever. People are talking about him now because he's fighting Danny Sabatello. So he's riding my coattails. I'm sick of that. Plus, I'm sick of seeing his fucking face. I swear to God, I said to Bellator there was going to be some bad things happening if we keep coming face-to-face. And I don't want to risk the fight getting canceled. I want to go in there December 9th at the Mohegan Sun, and I want to smash his fucking face. I don't want to do it where I'm not getting paid, or we're in a fucking bar, or we're in scenic things, some fucking bullshit interview. Obviously, the guy is pretty skillful. He's been okay, but I am making his fucking career. He owes me a Christmas gift. That's the bottom line.
I mean, it's been a wild tour. They went on one show where some guy was asking him about dicks and stuff. This was like out of control.
You were asking him if he had an erection at certain points in his fight career. Just
focused more on the grappling. In
totally
this fight,
inappropriate. Right? It was okay. You don't like the guy, but like, was there a point where you were like, okay, I cannot keep doing this media tour with him?
Yeah, you just said it.
I mean,
like a specific incident.
No, nothing specific. But I want to remind people that just because you do talk trash in MMA, that doesn't mean you're a good trash talker. You know, a lot of these people in MMA are pussies. They don't talk trash because they're afraid of the repercussions. I don't give a fuck about the repercussions. If I lose a fight, the only thing that changes in my life is the Instagram comment section, and those are people I don't give a fuck about. You think my family or my friends or my teammates or coaches are going to treat me different whether I win or lose? No, they're going to love me. They're going to have my back, and they're going to fucking like me forever. It's not indicative of whether I win or lose a fight. That's just from all the fucking losers out there. And I'll tell you what, if you have a bunch of haters, then you're doing something right. Look at all the successful people out there. They got a lot of haters, and I got a lot of fucking haters. But with this guy, I don't like him at all. He's not good at trash talk. He's on his Instagram comparing me to a Disney Channel cartoon, and I'm talking about ripping his fucking face apart. You know, I am happy that he is engaging in trash talk, because you do change when you're fighting Danny Sabatello. You have to change the way you are. I have him changing. He is talking shit now, but that's just because he's fighting me.
What Disney character did he compare you to? I didn't see this.
Some sloth from Ice Age. He compared me to that guy. I mean, it was like cute. It's funny. You know, he probably was giggling about it. But I'm just over here thinking about putting my fucking fist through his fucking skull, putting his head through a cinder block, and he's talking about Ice Age over here. I mean, we're on two different wavelengths.
I once called Conan Silveira Brazilian Shrek, and Luke was like, he's going to kill you.
Yeah, Conan's a scary dude. I'd watch out with that.
Yeah, Conan went to prison, bro. You gotta.
Mike Thomas Brown here, speaking of ATT scary dudes.
Yeah, royalty. You got some ATT royalty in the house here.
So, but do you have okay? Maybe you don't respect Stots, the trash talker character, but his last two wins have been pretty damn convincing against Magomedov by decision, and then he head kick knocks out the former champion Juan Archuleta. What do you say about those?
Yeah, with Archuleta, I thought he was losing both rounds going into that third round where he got a lucky KO. You know, he threw up a head kick, and it just so happened that Juan was rushing in, so his head bounced off his fucking knee. You know, it wasn't even a good distance head kick. It wasn't the shin or the foot that hit him in the head. It was a knee, but that's just because Juan was doing what's called a blitz. So obviously he got lucky there, and I thought he was losing the fight up until then. But before that, he fought Magomed, who was supposed to be very good, but obviously we can see he's got a bunch of holes. That guy's grappling is not even nearly as good as mine. So I don't know how good that win was, just because I don't think Magomed's that good. Obviously in MMA you can get lucky. It's a very crazy sport. The fight can end at a matter of fucking seconds. If your hands are out of place for a split second, the fight can end. So I do know that. I'm very aware of that. Even if I'm winning for fucking 24 minutes and 59 seconds, I could lose in a head kick. You saw that with Usman and Edwards. Anything can fucking happen. And I do think it's going to take him to get lucky like he did against Archuleta in order to beat me. But if this does go 5 rounds, 25 minutes, then I got it in the bag.
Give me how you grade your performance against Ego.
100% an A. You know, I absolutely dominated him. He did have my back at one point in the second round for 3 or 4-ish minutes, but I do like that because that was the first time that I faced adversity in the Bellator cage. You know, you can be tested and all that shit in practice, but practice isn't under those lights on Showtime, under the fucking Bellator banner with all the crowd watching you. So it's good to be tested there. And I was tested there for the first time, and it was a big test because Higo is so good on the ground. So I was very happy with how I responded. You know, I got up after that round. I dusted myself off. I gave myself a smile, and I went back to work and kicking the shit out of him. So I do like that happened. That was a little bit of adversity that happened. But aside from that, I absolutely dominated him. You know, I wasn't able to exactly open up just because that's what he's waiting for. Higo's style is he waits for you to open up, and he can capitalize that and just end the fight in a split second with his jiu-jitsu, whether it be a choke, armbar, leg lock, whatever it is. But no, Danny Sabatello is a very smart fighter. I was very cognizant of that, and I just fought my fight.
Okay, you don't take stupid chances, and I give you credit. You're a very patient fighter and calculated for having such a flashy persona, but there are a lot of people who naturally want to hate you, and I think you'd welcome that. You know, you're almost a natural villain in that regard. But is there any level of truth when people say, man, that guy talks a lot of shit? If you're going to talk that shit, you better fight in a way that backs it up. Not that you can't dominate people on the ground. They want you to stand in there and slug and trade because you talk that shit. You talked them into the building. But that's not smart to fight that way, though, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, if you're thinking about hating me, go ahead and hate me because you're a fucking pussy. Who gives a shit? You're a fucking bitch. But also, you know what? My fucking fight style is smart, and you do look at the Higo fight, and it might not have been the most exciting fight on paper, but then go look at the Lugo fight, and I absolutely sliced him up. I had to be very careful in that Higo fight because of Higo. If Higo was taking a shit ton of chances, that would have been a very exciting fight. We could have had these grappling exchanges. If he was able to stop the takedown, we could have exchanged on the feet. I always say this. If you don't want to have it be a boring fight with me, be better. Stop my fucking takedowns. Make me exchange with you. Throw some haymakers. It's up to my opponents to make this an exciting fight. If you can stop the takedown, and this is a boxing match, which I know people want to see rock and sock 'em robots. They don't exactly love the mixed martial art of it. They only want to see boxing and someone die. I fucking get that. But be better if you're my opponent, and let's stand up and trade then, which I do think that will be on full display, this fight. You know, it's 5 rounds, and every round you start off on the feet. So I think we are going to get a little bit of boxing, a little bit of kickboxing, but you're also going to get the grappling and the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu. So if you do look at my fight style, it is exciting. Look at Jornal Lugo's face after that fight. There was blood everywhere. He had to get stitches. That's more my style, but it had to be a little bit of a very different fight against Tigo just because of his background.
Okay, so for Stots, in your mind, his biggest strength, his biggest weakness, or what?
His biggest strength is being a bitch. You know, it's very good of him to be a bitch.
That
other
helps
than
his fighting game?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really fucking know. But he doesn't really have too many strengths. He can be very athletic in the first round. You know, when you have a full gas tank and you've been training for a while and you've been very dedicated, then you have no choice but to be good. But once you do get tired, I don't care who you are, all your skill sets go out the window. It's an absolute nightmare when you're tired. So after he is athletic in that first round, I don't see him very good because he does get tired. And his biggest weakness, I would just say he doesn't specialize in anything. You know, he's a pretty good fighter everywhere. He's pretty good on the feet. He's pretty good on the ground. But he doesn't have any crazy capabilities where I need to be very worried. And when you're very worried in a particular area in a fight, you tend to go a little bit harder, and that puts also a lot of stress on your mind, and you get a little bit more tired. But if you're not tired and you're very relaxed in the fight, you can just fight your fight. So I see that being very good for me. If I can keep my gas tank and just push the pace for 5 rounds, fight smart, open up, damage his fucking face, go from striking to grappling to submission attempts to slicing open his face with my elbow. Just make it a full mixed martial arts fight, then I'll have it.
How big is the prize? Like, this is a grudge match, and if you win this, you only got to climb the mountain again and fight the winner, Apache Mixon, Magomedov. But, you know, you got $1 million, and that's not like your total pay of the tournament. That's the bonus for winning it. You'd also be the interim champion and set up a big one. How life-changing at this point in your life is that prize? How much do you think about that $1 million? Like, what will it actually do to your life?
Yeah, I don't think about the mill too much. You know, right now I'm just being concerned with the best bantamweight on planet Earth. You know, I'm very fortunate to be in this World Grand Prix tournament in Bellator because Bellator does have the best bantamweight division across all promotion. So the winner of this Grand Prix tournament will be the best bantamweight on the planet. Okay, it doesn't matter what anybody says. The good thing with this World Grand Prix is if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. I love that they're doing this because you look at the other mainstream sports where MMA is trying to go there. You know, we're trying to get this sport as popular as possible. You want to gear towards NFL, MLB, NBA. And what do they have? They have the playoffs. This World Grand Prix is the playoffs. You know, in MMA, you can cherry pick who gets a title shot. There will always be fans saying, oh, they aren't the real champion, blah, 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 didn't get his shot. With this Grand Prix, no, the fans can't say shit. You got to run through this guy, and then this guy, and then this guy. And you look at my route, I've had the toughest route. I even had to fight to get into this tournament. I'm very fortunate that Sergio Pettis is a bitch and got out of the tournament because I actually got into the tournament because of him being a pussy. So I had to fight Lugo just to get in here, which makes it even sweeter. When I do win this, you'll be able to say that I had the toughest route, and I'm in the best fucking division.
Who has high tea in your eyes? Because everybody seems to be a bitch. But, like, when Pat Downey walks down the hall with that long hair, you're like, that's a real man, right?
Well, I don't like people in my weight division because I look at them all as meat. You know, I might be fighting these guys at any moment. You know, I don't like calling out guys in other promotions just because that fight probably isn't going to take place. But I'm young in my career. I'm only 29 years old. I got into MMA 4 or 5 years ago. I can fight any of these guys at any moment. Maybe they come over to my promotion in Bellator. So I don't like anyone in my fucking weight division. But if you're not in my weight division, I don't really talk trash about you, but I also don't care about you. The only fighters I really watch fighting are my American top team teammates. Everyone else can fuck off, but I'm not going to talk trash just because we probably won't fight.
I wish I could, like, roll with him and his crew for, like, a weekend, and Jake the documentarian can, like, I can't. I'm an old
Bro,
piece
is
of
this how
shit.
you order at Wendy's? I'll have the motherfucking Frosty. Fuck your life. That whole bit.
Yeah, I mean, I am very similar across my entire life. You know, you look at me, how I was in high school and college. Even in my wrestling career, I kind of had this chip on my shoulder. I was getting thrown out of tournaments when I was high school. You can go back and you look at my highlight tape in wrestling, and I was always giving up points and always trying to get in my opponent's head. You know, at the state series in Illinois, I was a 2-time state champion. And one thing that me and my coaches and teammates always talk about is before the state finals match, I went and I nudged and gave a little shoulder to my opponent, and we had to be broken up before the state finals. So it's just I've been very consistent in who I am, and that's who I'll always be. You know, I always have my manager and people tell me kind of calm it down, stop swearing a little bit. You'll get more sponsorships because these Boom. That's what I'm saying. They say these sponsorships will pick you up if you stop swearing and saying all this shit because these businesses have to get behind you. I said, fuck that, but that's not me. You know, I want the fans and everybody at home to realize exactly who Danny Sabatello is. And whether I win or lose, I'll be talking trash no matter what.
Dude, him and I could tear it up as like a Tango and Cash duo at like college bars. It'd be like a Miyagi LaRusso thing.
Dude, you're a 45-year-old man. You're not going to college
I'm still
bars.
young up here, though, dude. All right.
You're a little delusional up there. Hey, we were talking to Josh Thompson earlier, and he was sort of saying that, and I think you've heard this before, which is that his argument was you're not like Colby Covington. But lay it out for me. In your mind, why is the way you carry yourself so different?
No, I don't like the comparisons to Colby in terms of a shtick or something like that because he has one. He has a shtick. He's fake. When he's on camera, that's not who he is. When you see me on camera, obviously I take off the sunglasses and fucking bandana. I don't wear them everywhere. It's funny. I only wear sunglasses indoors. I don't like wearing them outdoors because I'll get a dumbass tan line. But I don't like it because I have rules with my trash talk. You know, I don't talk about somebody's religion or politics or their family or anything like that. Just because I don't see a need for it. I don't even think it sells the fight anyways. Be stupid anyways because I also don't have an interest in that. You know, if I were to talk about this guy's family, it'd be disingenuous just because I don't really care. I hope his family is happy and healthy. I don't give a fuck about his family. I don't give a fuck about his political views. I don't give a fuck about his religion. So I do have obvious
a little
points.
bit of a code.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, like, there's certain things that you just don't talk about. There's a line, you know, and if you do cross that line, then it should be settled outside of the cage. You know, if somebody did say something to me where I think it is a little overboard, obviously it would have to be settled outside of the cage. But that's why I don't do that shit. I don't talk about some certain things that are very important that shouldn't be brought up. I just don't see a need for it. And he does that shit. I don't like it. I don't talk about religion, nationality, politics, none of that. Listen, the bottom line is I'm a fucking fighter. If you want to get anything else, whether it's politics or food or whatever the fuck it is, go to somebody else. I'm not your guy. I don't even pay attention to that shit. All I think about is fucking fighting. Everybody asks me my things, you know, what do I like to do? What are your hobbies? I don't fucking have hobbies. Hobbies are for average people. I only think about fighting. I go to the best gym in the world every day, twice a day, not only in camp. You know, I don't have fight camps. You know, that's cute. I have fucking fight camp, which is my whole fucking life. And I go to the best gym. That's it.
No video games, no weed, no bitches?
I don't do drugs. It's funny. I smoked weed in high school, but other than that, I don't smoke weed anymore. No drugs. I'm pretty against them. I make sure I'm not even around it. You know, if I'm in a room and someone is doing drugs, I make them leave the room.
Get that vape shit out of here.
I'm not a fan of it.
For what it's worth.
Yeah, I don't like drugs, but I love getting fucked up, drunk as shit. You know, vodka's my thing. After this fight, I'll be drunk for probably 5 days
what's the
straight.
Danny Sabatello like celebratory drink?
I mean, I drink vodka, water, limes, but I love shots. Me and my boys will be doing shots after this.
Yeah, you are in your 20s, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to party. Obviously, I like to have my fun. I like getting drunk as shit. But drugs, I've never been about that. I don't even smoke weed. Obviously, you know what? If you smoke weed, it's not like whatever. Like it's just not me. I'm not that type of person. You know, I'm a very energetic, motivated, passionate person. You know, when I'm at a party, I like to do shit. I like to dance. I like to fucking do a bunch of stuff. I don't really like to just sit there on a couch. But that's just my personality. Everybody's different.
He likes uppers, natural uppers.
All right, hold on. On the other, we have to get out of here pretty quickly. On the other side of the bracket is Patchy Mix and Magomedov. Who wins? Who are you gonna fight between those two?
Between those two pipsqueaks, I think they suck. You know, neither of them are very good. Magomed throws a lot of spinning attacks, so he can be dangerous because it's small gloves, and you do have to be cognizant of that. And then Patchy, his bitch ass, is only good when he's on your back, and he has the fucking figure 4. But other than that, neither of them are very good. If I had to pick, I'd say Magomed, but I hate picking because I'm not very confident in it. I know both of them have Stots. The entire division has Raufeon Stots because I hate the entire division. I've talked shit about the entire division, and all these motherfuckers, aside from me, are friends. You know, all these guys, I see them all fucking talking, but I'm not in the friend-making business. I'm in the face-breaking business. So I go out there, and whoever the fuck it is, it just so happens to be Stots in 2 days, December 9th, that I'm going to break his face.
Dude, I want to, like, see the strings behind him, Joe. I think it's real. I think
No,
this
we
is
gotta go down
really
to South
this is
Florida.
who Danny Sabatello is, and he's whether you love him or hate him, he's must see freaking TV. I got to tell you that right now.
What's your prediction? I mean, obviously, winning is your prediction, but are you feeling a certain?
Yeah,
about
1,000%. You know, I don't want a quick finish because I do want the fans to understand I'm so much better than this motherfucker. One thing, you look at me, and not only do I win, but I dominate these guys. I don't leave the fans any room to say, oh, he got lucky that fight. No, I like imposing my will, and that's what I plan on doing December 9th with Raufeon Stots. I plan on imposing my will, getting him fucking tired, slicing him open. I need him to have stitches after the fight. And then I think in that 4th round, probably a TKO or a submission. We'll go with TKO. But I do want to taste those championship rounds. You know, they're there for a reason. Might as well take advantage of them. So 4th round TKO.
Yo, get that high C, run that pipe. You know what I'm saying, Luke?
No, you're just saying words. Yeah, you're just saying words. We got to get out
Friday
of
night,
here.
9 p.m. Eastern, only on Showtime. Bellator
Right, main event.
289.
Main
It's the
event.
Italian gangster, Danny Sabatello.
Thank you.
Bitch.